Hello, everybody, and I'm so glad you joined me again. We've got a lot going on today, but before I get started, I am live in Christchurch, New Zealand. Really thrilled to be with you again. And today's treat that I wanted to share with you is we found a bakery, a really great bakery, the Bellbird, and it has this delicious um, seeded bread that we found. It's really, really good. I'm going to have some for lunch. Yeah, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning here in Christchurch, but it's a day ahead, so it's already Thursday. Anyway, lots going on. I wanted to first point out the fact that we have a new story up on Elliott.org. So if you go to Elliott.org, you'll find a really amazing story about a guy who, one of our readers, who went to the pharmacy, got a prescription, and ended up with $13,000 worth of pills. I could not believe it. Our team couldn't believe it when we saw it. And most remarkably, they would not fix this problem for him. He got stuck between his pharmacy and his doctor, and ended up having to pay lots of money until the A team got involved. So our advocacy team did some really excellent work there, and I'm really very deeply grateful to them for doing all that. Our topic again today is Vantage Travel. And I wish I had good news to report, but unfortunately, things have not really changed that much since yesterday, although I do have some new information that I'm going to share with you, and I'm really excited about that. So we've been getting a lot of questions from readers about, what the situation is. Just by way of background, a little bit more than a week ago, Vantage Travel's website went down. Also, it stopped answering its phones, and some of its sailings were canceled. So we had people who were contacting us and saying, "Hey, I've had upcoming flights that are being canceled, and I've had some sailings that are being canceled." One of the ones that really kind of got me was they said that there was a reader who was he had a trip planned to the Middle East, and they said that they were canceling it because of unrest in the Middle East, which I think was just outrageous. It was to Egypt. There's been no security advisories for Egypt, so that it sounded a lot like they were just grasping for straws, trying to figure out a reason that had nothing to do with them. So I reached out at the end of the week to Vantage, and I heard back from their attorney. Some of my other contacts did not respond to me, unfortunately. And we got this statement that, and I'll just put it up here that we're currently experiencing a network disruption that has limited our abilities to access our network and impacted our ability to perform certain operational tasks. Now, as I read between the lines there, I think that really means that they have some kind of a ransomware incident. and over the weekend, Vantage put up a new website which had some information on it, and I'll see if I can display that. GoVantageTravel.com. And it was a very simple page. If you go there right now, you might get to it, but you might not, because we've been hearing from people who say that they've also seen some 502 errors on that page. But anyway, basically the page says that they have some cruises that are leaving, but it doesn't give any information about future cruises. So let's just talk a little bit about what we do know. If you go to that page right now, you will see that there are really 3 cruises that are operating still. One is the Boston to Montreal Ocean Explorer that leaves on the 27th, so that would be tomorrow your time. The Ocean Odyssey in Greece, then another one in Italy, and then one in Holland. So I guess it looks like 4 of them. The itinerary is kind of jumbled together on my screen. But what we know is that these are still going. Now, the thing is that while these cruises may be operating, you really need to check to make sure that you also have flights, because what we've been hearing is that some flights have been getting canceled beforehand. So in other words, maybe Vantage is not paying for the tickets for people to fly there. I don't know if that's true. If you are hearing anything, please send me an email, and I'll definitely look into it. So, question from some of our readers is, if my flight is canceled, is my cruise also canceled? As I was saying before, Vantage says that it has these 4 cruises that are operating. We know that that's what they're saying, but we also know that some of the cruises, the flights that are going there have been canceled. So if your flight is canceled and it says that you still have a cruise going, I would really at this point take inventory, and I would not book a new airline ticket. That just doesn't make any sense at all. If you have travel insurance, this is a really good time to give your travel insurance company a call and to see what your options are. If your tour operator, which would be Vantage, canceled your flight, you may be able to file a claim. So definitely look into that. We're getting more questions about possible Vantage bankruptcy filing, and I wanted to talk about that a little bit. So the scuttlebutt right now is that Vantage has not been paying some of its vendors. And I have not been able to confirm that at all, but these are just rumors. But what I'm hearing is that Vantage is not paying some of its vendors overseas, and that also it's not paying some of its own people. I have not heard from anyone who works from Vantage who says that they haven't been paid, but I've heard from some outside sources that this is going on. So what could happen if you end up on a cruise where people are not getting paid or vendors are not getting paid? That's really an interesting question. Well, you could actually end up going someplace with a Vantage cruise, and they may not be able to load all the food for the cruise. They may not be able to, there won't be a bus there waiting for you to take you to your tour. There could be a lot of potential complications. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but it is possible, if they're not paying their vendors, that this would happen. So it's just something to keep in mind, that there are some other risks. We have also gotten a lot of questions from people about what our advice is. And I went over all this yesterday. If you have a trip planned on Vantage, whether it is still a go, if you've gone to the website and it says it's a go or not, this is really a good time for you to take inventory and to consider a plan B. Now, if your flight has been canceled, that makes things easy. You definitely don't want to book another flight to meet up with your cruise. Your trip is not happening, and what you need to do is file a dispute. If you did pay by credit card, you want to file a dispute for your credit card, because clearly Vantage did not come through with a flight. It should have, and it didn't. And there's a very good possibility that your cruise won't leave either. So definitely file a credit card dispute to get your money back. At this point, we are advising that people not try to go through the normal Vantage refund process, because it's very slow. We've had some people who have taken up to 2 years to get their money back from Vantage, and we're not entirely comfortable with the fact that Vantage is 100% solvent. Now, as I've said before, there's a lot of reasons for that, but we have no evidence as of now that the company is going to file for bankruptcy protection. All we know is that things look really dicey right now. So if your flight has been canceled and you you do have a tour that's coming up, or a cruise, then you're not going. You should just start filing your credit card dispute, and then that's it. If you have a cruise coming up and your flight is still a go, then you're going to have to really think this one through. Possibly, maybe, actually go on this cruise, but have a plan B. So if you are going to fly somewhere and meet up with a cruise, maybe have in your back pocket possibly that if the cruise doesn't leave, if it just stays there or it doesn't go anywhere, that you can make a hotel reservation and make the best of it. If you're working with a travel agent or a travel advisor, this is like a really great time. Get on the phone with your advisor and see if maybe they can come up with a plan B for you. They may also have some really good advice. If your cruise has already been canceled and you are waiting for a refund, I'm going to repeat what I said yesterday. Please file a credit card dispute to see if you can get your money back. If you had to pay by cash or ACH, we know that actually Vantage had disabled some credit card payments. At least that's what they were saying before the site went down. So a lot of people did pay by ACH. If that's the case, you can actually file a dispute. I heard from someone yesterday who did that with her bank. But you can also potentially go to small claims court. As long as Vantage is still solvent, it has to answer for whatever its actions are in small claims court. So until they file for bankruptcy protection, you can sue them and you can potentially get your money back, although the process can take a while. So those are your options. I realize that these are not the best options, but we are working as fast as we can to get through all of the questions that we're getting. And if you have any kind of issues, you can contact me at elliott.org. You can also contact us. There's a form that you can fill out on the page, and we will do our very best to help you out. Hey, this is not a good situation that we're in right now at all. And I know that there are a lot of folks who just don't know what's happening. There's a lot of uncertainty, or there's only 3 or 4 cruises that are actually confirmed to be leaving. We don't know about the rest of the schedule. We also don't know the full extent of this data breach that's happened, the security breach. There's a lot of concern at this point, too, from people who did business with Vantage at some point and have data that may have been compromised on the site. And, that's, of course, credit card numbers, personal information, that kind of thing. That's very concerning as well. But if you do have questions, please let me know. Elliott.org is the URL for our website. There's a form there that you can fill out. And my team and I will do our best to help you. The one thing we can't do is we cannot expedite or refund for you. I wish that we could, but there really is nothing at this point. Before I got on this live stream, I actually called Vantage. They did not return my call. I emailed Vantage. They did not respond to my email. Normally, in my experience, when this kind of thing happens, it's not a good sign. If they stop talking to reporters who are just trying to get some information out to people, it's not a good sign. It usually means something very bad is about to happen, or maybe has already happened. So I don't want to give you any false hope, but if you do have future plans to be on a Vantage cruise, this is probably a good time to call your bank, call your credit card company, call your travel agent, at the very least, come up with a plan B. But if not, maybe find out if you can get a credit card dispute going and get some of your money back. Hey, folks, I wish I had better news for you. Unfortunately, I don't. But I will, do some more research, and we'll do another live stream tomorrow, and I'll see what I can come up with. Maybe there'll be some news. Hopefully, it'll be good news. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Christopher Elliott, and thanks for tuning into this live stream. I'm kind of new to this, actually, so I don't know if I did it right, but we'll just have to see. Anyway, thanks for being here. And what do they say? Kia ora, bye from Christchurch, New Zealand.